This past fall, I was given the remarkable opportunity to work with the U.S. Department of State as a political and economic intern at the U.S. Consulate General in Frankfurt, Germany. In my time there, I was given the chance to work, learn, and collaborate with some of the smartest, most experienced, and passionate people this nation has to offer. From every background and walk of life, these American diplomats and service members put forth a relentless effort every day in the forwarding of American ideals and interests. As a witness and grateful participant in this process, seeing every day the value of national service, it inspired me to ask a question. What would the world of the near future look like? And how would the United States interact with that world? And there lies the basis for my talk today. I titled this talk, Envisioning the Future of America's International Engagement. Before describing exactly what that vision is, I think it's first important to explain the area in which we're exploring. So what is international engagement? This is how we as a nation interact with the rest of the world. It's not an inherently political concentration, although it can be heavily influenced by political decision-making. It encompasses the concepts of business and commerce, the movement of culture and people, and most importantly, the development and spread of ideas. As with any problem-solving or decision-making framework, I think it's always important to define and specify goals. Within the context of this talk, I try to keep my goals relatively simple in scope, yet monumental in size at the same time. My goal is to see America continue in its role of global leadership based on moral principle and national capacity. My goal is to continue to see America serve as a center for mutually shared prosperity, development, and innovation with the rest of the world. To continue the status and direction of what Madeleine Albright described as the indispensable nation. Like I said, super simple. We live in a world that is increasingly complex and ever-changing. Our present moment sees the evolution of a new international power dynamic. Strategic competitors now exist for the United States. The common example given is China, based on its rapid development and national capacity, but also states such as Russia, where what they lack in economic power, they make up for in boldness and the surgical application of asymmetric force. We live in an increasingly globalized world, defined by instantaneous connectivity and integrated commerce. We live in a moment of unmatched technological innovation. Climate change remains that near and present threat. We see an increase in the movement of people. The presence of authoritarianism can be seen in increasing locations around the world. And internal social unrest can be seen in every corner of the globe, from Hong Kong to Chile, France, Lebanon, Iraq, and Iran. Turning our scope to the United States, America remains the leading economic and military power. We have active diplomatic relations with all but 4 nations, and we're one of the world's top innovators. Internally, we hold the unique distrust of national institutions, and we lack a common consensus on how the United States should interact with the rest of the world. Looking ahead along current trends, the future will be no less complex. Power competition among stronger rivals will persist. Connectivity and economic integration among nations will persist. And we will increasingly witness the importance of the global commons, namely the seas, space, and cyberspace. Barring any radical new action on the part of the world's major powers, climate change will continue to significantly alter our natural world. And authoritarian regimes will continue to centralize power and limit basic human liberties. This is the world of the near future. Some things can be influenced and others cannot. However, the power of our people will be in our collective response. Looking back to the beginning of this presentation, how do we achieve the goals laid out previously? How do we retain, promote, and protect not only the prosperity of the people of the United States, but also the people of the world around us? I have some ideas in which we can do just that. It comes through a process of deliberate and decisive action, institutional openness, cooperation, and trust. A cohesive embrace of these key tenets is the vision. Altering and empowering the way the United States interacts with the rest of the world within a future dynamic environment. But how does this apply in a practical sense? How do we make this vision a reality? The first way is the promotion and embrace of pragmatic and values-based policy, the alignment of national ideals with national policy. The values and ideals that we hold so dear, and that which make the United States the beacon of hope that it is, must serve as the foundation for the formation and application of national policy. The result of such an embrace would continue to prove to the world that America is a moral leader, one that wishes to earn its seat at the head of the table. Second, we must make trust and transparency a strategic priority. When I was in Germany, I had the opportunity to speak with one of our nation's leading experts on Russian influence and disinformation operations. She highlighted the power of institutional openness at combating the root opportunities that allow for malign actors to expand their influence within democratic societies. If we wish to combat these root opportunities, we must make institutional transparency of political and business institutions, as well as national leaders, a national strategic priority. Additionally, increased trust and transparency among nations leads me to the next point. We must strive to empower partners and work to create new ones. You cannot be a leader in a hyper-globalized world without willing partners. A strengthening of multinational partnerships, American diplomacy, and effective aid abroad is crucial to the sustainment of lasting alliances and the fostering of new ones in regions and spaces not done before. And finally, we must foster the power of the global international relations, security, political, and business communities in resisting the development of closed spheres of influence. Protecting the systems of openness and integration that allowed for lasting peace and global prosperity represent a paramount goal for not just the United States, but also the global community as a whole. All these initiatives working in tandem foster an environment that promotes the integration of democratic norms, cooperation, and openness, not catalyzed by pressure, but by a willingness to work with one another. If we go down this path, if we strive to make this vision a reality, where will this get us? It may not create a perfect world, but it will create a better one. Thank you very much.